Oh, oh, ayo! Hey everyone! I am feeling the moment. Oh, I am so down to dance right now. And you want to know why? It's because today is Friday. Yes, indeed, happy Friday. That means we've made it through the week. We made it through Monday and Tuesday. We made it through Hump Day. And now we're at Friday. So let's go. Let's get it. I hope you're proud of yourself because you have made it through the week as well. I have to keep pushing through Saturday though, because tonight I got a show for you. So I am Antoine Hunter, aka also known as Purple Fire Crow, and I am here at #DeafWoke. A visual description of myself. I've got a gray do-rag on. I have dark chalk milky skin that I got from my mama. I have that African in me and indigenous. I've got an ebony gray and bushy beard. I've got a pretty cool shirt on as well. Short sleeve gray t-shirt that's labeled in yellow lettering, #DeafWoke. And I'm in front of a plain background right now in San Francisco, California. Beautiful California, 836. Before we go ahead with the rest of the show, I want to introduce, oh wait, you're not hearing my voice. So I want to introduce the voice interpreters that you're going to be hearing, the fabulous, the wonderful interpreters that are going to be here on the show tonight. Come on screen, show your faces. They're pretty cool interpreters. We got Amber. All right, hi Amber. And we got another cool interpreter over here, Kaylee. So thank you so much, both of you, for being here, for supporting our community. Thank you for everything that you're providing, and you're doing a wonderful job at supporting our space. They're humble, they're humble. They are not showy, they're not braggy, but I wanted them to come on the screen. Because we have to uplift each other, right? My Black brothers and sisters, we have to uplift each other. Did I mention that I'm in San Francisco? The 836M. It's a art district business. The neighborhood is really popping. It's thriving. So you have so much in this area. We have hearing folks, deaf culture, and we're hosting shows and artistic galleries that are highlighting deaf art, hearing art, disabled art, folks in wheelchairs, so many different. We have 6 different deaf artists that are highlighted at a specific gallery in this area. So it's wonderful to see. And it's all Black too. And so I want to ask my, oh, Antoine has frozen for a moment, the interpreter. I want to ask my interpreters to come back on the screen.
Hello, welcome to A36M. My name is Celine Ricci and I am A36M Program Director.
My name is Yuli Serrato and I'm A36M Program Associate.
We are very happy to welcome the Urban Jazz Dance Company to our place for their residency, Deaf Walk Communication in Conversation.
This residency will span from March 3 to May 17. Please stay tuned about all the events happening while the Urban Jazz Dance Company is with us. Don't miss out on the soft opening happening on March 13th.
We hope to see you soon at A36M. Bye!
And that was the gallery. Oh, and there we have a hello from the one and only Selena. So keep an eye out for that event at that gallery. We want to make sure that we're supporting and we want to be involved. We want to join the workshops. We want to highlight deaf workshops, deaf painters, BIPOC, all sorts of artistic folks. We want to make sure that we're supporting them. And here's a quick view of the gallery. All right, so that was the gallery, 863M. And here we have a message from Celine. Happy to have us at UJ, happy to have Urban Jazz Dance Company join. We have such an open mind and open heart for this community. And I want to bring a member of that community on board. I know you're excited for it. We have a great visitor today, a great guest, and that guest's name is Antony Johnson. Antony, you have had a passion and a love for art since the age of 7 years old. You've been drawing since you were a young child. You've been involved in the artistic community, and your love of different art forms and mediums and expressing yourself in your creativity, that you've been able to capture your emotions and express them for the audiences that are viewing your work to take in. You've been on such a journey through your life, and you connect each and every one of those experiences to your art. And one of your biggest art forms that you've immersed yourself in for many, many years is martial arts. So right here we have Antony.
Hey. Yes, you're dancing. I'm dancing over here. We're getting it done. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm feeling your energy. I'm feeling it. Yes.
I'm feeling yours. Thank you for coming. I can't believe it. It's been a long time coming.
Yes.
And talking about this, and finally, here we are. And all this time coming, my first question is, how are you?
I am feeling fantastic. For a while, I was a bit anxious about the future, but you know what? Keeping faith is really important, and that's what I'm doing. Not worrying about all the chaos going on in the world, but focusing on the now and just trugging along. That's what I'm doing.
I know. You can just feel a shift. There's been a change, and some people are really struggling with, all the
Yeah.
things that are happening that we don't like or support. And what do you do to support yourself to keep the faith and to keep going?
Two words come to mind: not to panic, but to pivot. When panic starts, I pivot and I go in a different direction. I look in a different direction. I feel in a different direction. I don't worry about what's happening in the chaotic space. So whether that's art, games, talking to friends, being around the right people, that allows me to keep going. I enjoy social media, the right type of social media. But yeah, just really enjoying your life, right? Life is short. Life is short. So try to be as happy as you can all the time.
You're so right with that. Life is short. That's why you got to make the most of it. You have to uplift yourself, uplift each other, try and keep that sense of positivity. Now, some people don't know that you are an amazing artist. I had the pleasure of coming into contact with some of your art a while back, and I'm wondering if you could explain your art, what your motivation is, and your painting. Just if
Absolutely.
just a summary of
Yeah.
who you are in your art.
So I started at the age of 7, like you said. And it's great that you're having me here as a deaf artist. I really appreciate seeing the interviews previous to me and seeing other folks. That has been really a pleasure. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's how this works, right? So happy to be here. But so yes, at the age of 7, I started with art, really just in comic books. In the beginning, it was Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Through comic books, was really fascinated with Marvel, read a lot of those comic books, and just kind of started drawing, copying what I was seeing in those comic books. And my family is a very artistic family. My mother, she would paint, she painted flowers often. My brother was also an artist in terms of how he did graphics and letters. He would do Roman letters and draw them himself. My older brother, very skilled in oil painting and acrylic. So I learned from various family members. And my brother, he actually got jealous of my art skills because I could just, take a screenshot in my mind of something and just recall that and draw it, whereas he had to rely on actual images to draw. So yeah, all of my images and artwork is just from my mind. And my brother, he wasn't able to actually do that. So he was a little jealous of me. But yeah, he would kind of criticize my art a little bit, but we would help each other. Again, he scratched my back, I scratched his, and we supported each other through our art journeys. I never actually took formal courses in art. Just kind of looked at articles and books and things like that for graphic art. And my brother did a lot of print work. He actually worked for Hallmark, the company, Hallmark. So yeah, they had some training courses, and he would wake up in the morning, do some training, go to school, and I would go to Hallmark and do those trainings as well.
Okay, yeah, I remember Hallmark.
Yeah. And I was really impressed with one woman who actually was deaf that worked there. She was very skilled at lip reading. And I learned from her. Her art was great. And she said art takes time. She didn't sign. She only kind of used her mouth to communicate in terms of lip reading and whatnot. But yeah, we took our time at a slow pace. I learned a lot from her. and my brother, like I mentioned, who was also doing it. And then I kind of stopped doing art a little bit, but it was still always on my mind, and I really enjoy it.
It's inspiring to see just your journey and people's journeys.
Yeah.
And how you continue to support each other and sharpen each other's skills, right? Iron sharpens iron, especially in such an artistic space. And you can hone in and develop your skills and your craft. So you're saying you were working at Hallmark. There was another individual, another deaf woman. But in general, did you see a lot of deaf artists growing up?
No, not me. Reason being, I went to, what is it? Deaf Meta. There was only one place that actually showcased art. Deaf Nation didn't. There was only one, and I went to that particular area, and there were really talented artists, and unfortunately, it wasn't as supportive of a space as I would have liked. The art was great, but it seemed like it was a bit judgmental. My artwork was actually better than some of the artwork there, but I tried to share some of my inputs, but it seemed like they weren't really open to that. And we still supported each other. They still were super supportive of deaf folks. And the hearing individuals that were a part of that gallery too were really encouraging for the deaf individual that worked there. Craft also is art, right? But I prefer making your own crafts as opposed to buying crafts from other companies. Wawa is also an artist, right? A painter. Fred also is an artist, showed some of their crafts. I've seen some of their work too. So yeah.
Yes, Fred Beam, he's a very good artist. I actually saw his work maybe what, 2, 3?
I missed. What did you say? Can you say it again?
Oh, I was just talking about Fred Beam. We interviewed him at Deaf Woke, and he showed some of his art.
Okay, yeah.
And hosting this show and seeing, different deaf artists come in, you see what a small world it is and such an interconnected community.
Right.
And just the attitude, the communal kind of attitude that everyone has been really wonderful to see.
Yeah. I did set up a page called Black Deaf Town specifically for artists really to kind of showcase some of their work, but Shy did not really want to join in. And he, as an artist, there were some deaf folks who really didn't want to showcase their art in this particular format. But it was a space to show worldwide various art forms, African art and whatnot, art from China, some from Ohlone College and some from Japan. So really the point was to show deaf individuals from all over the world showing their art, but it only ran for a really short time. And when I went back, it was already taken down. So like I said, it was only last for a short amount of time. I wish that it could have lasted longer because it was such a great resource.
Yeah, it would be nice if it was a permanent exhibit. I've noticed, something that's common that happens is hearing artists, they get their work displayed for a long time. And when it's a deaf artist, it's so short and then immediately down.
Yeah, it can be really disheartening, but what that means is it probably needs a lot of marketing. and maybe you have to go to a Deaf Nation booth or something really to get the word out there, and that obviously costs money. I'm not interested in going to a Deaf Expo to, fraternize and whatnot. I really want to see what's offered there, so that can be an issue at times.
Right. It requires networking and exposure, and all of that is such an integral part to make sure that those exhibits are a success.
Yeah, Deaf Meta, they're really great with promotions. I would say they're probably the only one. They have some booths. I pay for those, but for those that are free to get in, different story. You can kind of take your time and chat there. But
what do you love the most in terms of your art and how you express yourself and to feel good about your art?
I love art as pen and ink. Watercolor is okay, but you can easily kind of mess something up in that particular medium. But pen and ink, I love that. The coloring of ink, I'm more comfortable with using that. There's an artist named Bernie Wrighton.
Like, can you spell that down for the people?
Yeah, Bernie Wrighton. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to make sure everyone gets that.
Yeah, they're an artist that actually did art on dollar bills. Very talented. I want to become like him. And how really detailed he is. You can look so close at his artwork and it's just completely covered. That dollar bill is covered, but it's so meticulous in how they've produced this art. I mean, you have to use the magnifying glass to get all of the details and see it so clearly, but it's amazing. All of the details. He's since passed, but his work was phenomenal. I'm a collector of his books, and I have a big collection. I want to say a 12 by 14 glass area where I have a Frankenstein statue. There's another one, Shale in a Wedding. I'm really fascinated for that one too, but those are some of the artwork that he did. And I try to emulate a little bit of that as well. I also use an iPad at times for some artwork. So yeah.
I love drawing on an iPad. I have some of my art right here.
Yeah.
Some of my drawings.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Tell me more about that.
Black warriors, love that. And then a pet dragon. A lot of people don't recognize, probably don't notice the dragon head there. But when you're using a pencil, you can't really see it. But when I use a black pen, you're able to see the frame definitely more clearly. You can see the flask in the picture, and probably difficult just with a regular pen, but I know that I'm busy, have other things going on, but looking at that, I was able to catch some of the details. Yeah.
This is another one I really like.
That gets me to thinking. You're frozen a little bit.
I call this one Howard the Duck.
Yes. Maybe after graduation. Yeah, about 1984. The film Howard the Duck. That was so fascinating. And I drew that because after I graduated from Colorado, we moved to California. And we drove through, well, from Colorado, we drove to California. And there was artwork along, well, I drew that along the way. There was a beak, you see the black beak, and then how the orange beak kind of connects and closes. I didn't like how that looked. I really didn't. And so I drew it over and was able to extend the mouth a little bit and make some, make it a little more complex and interesting. But somehow it became that.
I noticed in a lot of your work, you're using pens to draw, and there's some in color, but it's not, the color isn't completely filled in.
Right.
So it's kind of outlined in some areas. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah. Go ahead and explain.
I see you. This is good.
So there's various characters. They're all Black. At that time, Black Lives Matter, BLM, was a huge part of society. Excuse the interpreter. BLM, Black mutants. And so I was working, just kind of while I was working, I also took some time to draw these images, and that's what transpired from that.
Okay, don't tell me you did this one in 10 minutes.
Actually, this was the first art piece, and the one you just showed was the second. I didn't want to mess with this one by adding more because I thought it was so beautiful. So I decided just to make another one that was bigger and add a few more of those Black mutants. Yeah.
Wow. Well, also it seems that you like to draw from your experiences. It's not just what you're seeing externally. You're drawing in from yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, explain this one a little bit.
This is for people who suffer from anxiety and paranoia of possible victimization. And this really was in relation to Black Lives Matter and how you see the man in the image with the gun, and there's someone behind him. You can see a shape of an image behind. Go down a little bit. Yeah, put it down. Down, Antoine. So look at the Black man with the flashlight. And then if you notice behind him, there's an image or a silhouette of someone behind him. Perfect. Yeah.
I think this is quite heavy because it, no smell, you can't hear. Oh, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, that anxiety of who's around you. Mm-hmm.
In his own house, at attention in the dark, scared and wondering, what can happen. I can see beads of sweat and
you can see heavy breathing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's powerful. There's powerful words here.
Yeah.
Wondering, is somebody going to break into my home? Hoping that doesn't happen.
That feeling of, is there someone here? Like I felt something. Is it really here? You open the door and it seems like there's nothing. Maybe the thought of, wait a minute, I thought I closed that window. Why is it open? Or the water's running. Didn't I turn the water off? Just those kind of paranoid and anxious moments that people can have Or, did I plug the plug in properly? Did I make sure that that was okay? Is the gas off? Did I leave it on? Kind of that anxiety that people can get at times. That's what that emulates.
So when you're ready to paint, or draw, do you have kind of a vision in your mind, or you just go where the pen takes you? How do you start off that initial first stroke? Do you have a ritual? You have your tea, you have everything laid out in front of you? Do you have music, a specific vibe, or what is your process?
No, I just improv. Oh, okay. There you go.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, keep going. Keep telling your story.
Yeah, no, I just go for it. Whatever's in my mind, I have an idea. This is what I want to draw. Once I get home, I make that a reality. I start with a small sketch, possibly on a note or something like that. And then when I get home, I'm able to finish that. Yeah, and I do that quite a bit. I start some things with color and then I'll pause, finish that later, start on another project. If something's missing on another project, I'll kind of focus on that too. But I just keep going. I really want to make sure that I'm keeping my talents honed, and I want to make sure to remember how to draw, because my brother is always on me like, hey, what have you been drawing? What's some new artwork of yours? So I'm able to share that with him, which I really like to do. There's also these particular glasses that can be worn that assist with drawing. I'll send you some of that work. It's pretty interesting too.
Well, once you finish your work, then you feel good about it?
Oh yeah, of course. Some people draw when they're angry, when they're drunk, when they're upset, or maybe close to passing, or someone close to them is passing. There are, graffiti artists out there. People complain about that, but I think it's art. I think it's all beautiful, and it's a representation of art in its own individual way. And I think that it's important to leave those artistic things around society and around the community.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland has a lot of art that is really beautiful, and I hope that it's left and not painted over.
Oakland's my home.
Yeah.
Here's another drawing.
This was a Native American drawing where you see the bow and arrow. He's aiming the bow at the heart of the dragon. There's fire. You can feel the heat. You can see the heat in that one. Mm-hmm.
What about this one?
This is a mother warrior. The mother warrior doesn't have any weaponry of any sort. She's just riding on the horse.
Mm. I'll show one more.
Yeah, I think the watercolor.
Yeah, so one that's different than the rest.
Yeah. This one is a watercolor. I just wanted to test it and mix some things. My brother was teaching me how to paint with watercolors, and so this was a representation of a wheel. My brother said, oh, let me keep it. I was like, no, this one is mine.
Oh, we have to take your pieces.
Right.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay. I tried to do a 3D drawing for Halloween. And that's what that is. You see a skull, you see a pumpkin, Sleepy Hollow, and the pumpkin are fighting. So, yeah, that was a fun one.
I mean, I think they're all fantastic.
Thank you.
Phenomenal drawer. The detail, I mean, it's you get to the most minute detail. It's incredible. I mean, you really put your name out in the world. Kind of like Spider-Man, you know?
Hmm.
Do you know who created Spider-Man?
Stanley.
You got it. You got it. Yeah, Stanley. And so,
Really, there's two people. So there was Stan Lee and Jack Irving. But Jack, excuse the interpreter, Jack Cry, created the characters. Stan Lee created the business of Marvel. And so he always called Jack Cry the king because he created Hulk and all these other characters. He was the first person to write Black Panther in 1966. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you look at the movie, the old former movie, The Mask,
it looks.
They changed it. Yeah, they changed it. They made some adjustments because it used to only cover the mouth, and now they changed it to a full mask. So,
Do you think that was related to race at all, to hide his race?
no, I think for identity reasons. They would know who the family was and who his wife was and whatnot. If he was completely had the full mask, like Superman, right? Or Batman, they're able to see the mouth of the character, but not the rest. For Superman, he obviously had a different mask, but you couldn't see much more other than that. And keeping that vague ability to see the full face really, I think, helped hide the identity.
I have one funny story. Batman, has like a super trim beard because, when he doesn't have his mask, he's like, oh, don't shoot me. Once he takes his mask off, he wants to blend in.
Yeah. So for Batman had no power, right? So I'm like, eh. But eventually, as I grew to understand his background, I was like, he was the most intelligent and probably the most dangerous one out of them all. Superman asked him if he was crazy, would he kill him? And Batman said, yeah, he would kill him. And he's the only one who would actually say that. So I think that he never smiled. He was always really straight-faced because he lost his parents. So he had an interesting story. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dark story. There's a lot of heaviness in that story, but
yes.
Stan Lee, many people look up to Stan Lee as an artist, as a comic book writer, as an illustrator. I'm curious who you looked up to for that inspiration for your character, for your drawings, or just in general. It doesn't even have to necessarily be for art, just a role model that you had in life.
So just in general?
In general, yep.
I would say Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Donnie Lee as well. IP Man, related to martial arts. Mm-hmm. Bruce Lee, too. My mom, Queen Latifah. I have a lot, but yeah, there are a lot of people that I look up to. Yeah.
You've named some heroes in the community, some cool people. And that kind of brings us right into our next segment, where we're gonna go over some
Okay, bring it on, bring it on.
community. It's called Deaf Folks Name These People.
Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right, so we're gonna show some people. I'll do a description, and then you see if you can get the name. See if you're right or if you're wrong. But if you need, some help, some clues, a little hint here or there, I'll show you a picture beforehand.
Okay.
A description of them, and then a photo. I might say, this person was in this movie, they acted in this and that. So I'll throw some hints your way.
Okay. Okay, so if I'm not able to guess it, can I phone for some help?
If you need some help, audience, put it in the chat. Let's make sure we get him some help. Okay, so we have a deaf native of East Harlem, New York City, and is an original supporting character in Marvel Spider-Man series. She attends Brooklyn Visions Academy.
Okay.
She's a street artist specializing in graffiti art. Blank is portrayed by a deaf actress. Who is that character?
Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
But on which Spider-Man?
The black one, of course.
The black Spider-Man? Okay. Okay. I'm not sure on this one.
Come on.
I don't know.
You need a lifeline? Here we go. Here's a lifeline photo.
Mm.
The name starts with what?
Celine? Cecile? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the actress that portrays this character, she's deaf in real life. Do you know who?
Yeah, I'm not sure. She's deaf, huh?
It's Haley Cooper.
Okay.
So this character, I mean, it's rooted in Haley's story. She's an amazing person. I hope I get to interview her one day in the future. Okay, next one. We have a hard of hearing native of New York City, is a retired professional bodybuilder and American actor. He won the IFBB Mr. America title and 2 consecutive Mr. Universe titles. He is known for his roles in TV and film, often centered around his physique. Ooh, they get wrong.
Lou.
Oh, you.
There we go. Okay.
Come on.
There we go.
You got that. So many people don't know that he's hard of hearing.
Yeah. He was a part of Deaf Meta. I think he went 2 or 3 times. So yeah.
All right, this next person's hearing. A native of West Philadelphia, was a street smart teenager playing street basketball. Accidentally hit a group of young people with the ball, causing a confrontation that frightened his mother, who sent him to live with his wealthy Aunt Vivian and Uncle Phil in Bel Air, Los Angeles. Blank is portrayed by a hip-hop rapper and actor. Blank, who recently received an honor renaming 59th Street. Do you know who it is?
Okay, let me read it. Player, young people plays ball. Sent to live with his rich. Okay, Aunt Viv. Okay, I know this. Will Smith. Ah, yes.
Hey, that's yes. Will.
Yes. Fresh Prince.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days.
Yes, yes. I love that. I love the attitude. He was a bit much, but that was a good one. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, here we go. She's a hearing native of Harlem, New York, and Cairo, Egypt. Is a superhero appearing in American comic books published by Marvel. And she's the first Black female leader of a Marvel superhero team. Blank is
Okay.
portrayed by a hard of hearing actress. Who is that actress?
What is the film?
Can control the weather. She can control the weather. Who is that?
Storm. Yep. Halle Berry. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I knew you knew that one. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Give me a break. Give me a break. I knew it. I got it right.
All right. This one's hard of hearing, native of Anderson, South Carolina. Was an American actor, writer, and director. Played a pivotal role in breaking down stereotypes of Black people on screen. He's best known for his portrayal of Blank Blank in the Marvel Cinematic Universe from 2016 to 19. Blank's other roles included other films, Jackson Robinson, James Brown, a lot of inspirational films. He takes on a lot of roles, a lot of different characters.
Okay, so you said not Black Panther. It's not Chadwick Boseman.
I don't know. I didn't say that was out
You
of
said Chadwick. Let me see Chadwick, because you said hard of hearing. So
right here.
Okay. All right. I got it right.
You did. You got it.
Okay, yep, he played that baseball role. That's right.
Yep.
Marvel. Get on up. That's right. Okay.
You're good at this. Knocking them out of the park. Okay, she's a hearing native of Iraq, is a community member of the genetically engineered Eternals, created at the World Forge by the Celestials. Her TV series appearances include She-Hulk. She plays a lawyer.
Yes.
She also plays attorney at law.
Speed.
Yep. And the Untold Tales of the Eternals.
So the Eternals, this is the sign, I think. The woman from Eternals, I can't think of her name. She's a Black woman with curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave a bunch of folks their sign names. Yeah. Right. Her character name was Makui. Oh, Makari. There we go.
Yes. Makari. Oh, sorry, keep going. I interrupted you.
Once you show the movie, just really briefly, they plan to make a movie for her alone. Yeah, they plan to kind of expand on her story. I don't know what's going on, if there's contract issues since COVID, but hopefully they still make it. I'm looking forward to it.
I know it's not easy after COVID, but hopefully. And her name is Lauren Ridloff, by the way. That's his name.
Right.
Oh, so sweet. Oh my goodness. What a gem of a human.
I think there's two deaf now in Marvel. So one was in Echo and Echo 2, King Kong. Yeah.
All right, this next one, he's a hearing native of Chicago, Illinois. Was an American actor, comedian, film producer, and voice artist. He appeared in the original Kings of Comedy with Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and D.L. Hewley. He was on the American sitcom The Blank?
Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac.
Yeah,
Yeah. Love that. Love that.
already there, my brother. I love this brother, Bernie Mac. Now, Bernie Mac, you know, that wasn't his original name, but he goes by Bernie Mac. His real name was Boa. All right, we have one or two more. I've been getting a lot of these, so let's see about this one. She's a hearing native of New York City, is an American singer, actress, dancer, model, R&B sensation. She had a recording contract at the age of 12. And she had, you know, age ain't nothing but a number.
Janet Jackson?
No. See, Janet Jackson's my wife. No, we're not talking about my wife. Not her, my friend. But she also did Love Letter.
Queen?
Calling in a lifeline.
I don't know who that is.
You ain't got it? It's not there? All right, this is Aaliyah. Aaliyah, oh my goodness, one of the best R&B artists in the 90s.
And she's young. Wow.
All right, you better get this one right. I'm kidding. But she's a hearing native of the United States of America, also known as Blank. Starred in 2 science fiction comedy films, Professor Nutty and Professor Nutty 2: The Clumps. You know she does this.
Yeah. I'm going to say Eddie Murphy.
But who does she play?
Eddie Murphy. There we go. Yeah. Mama Clump.
Mama Clump. That's who Eddie Murphy plays. And that's it. You ran through all of them.
So what, I got 8 out of 2, right? 8 right, 2 wrong.
There's no score here. You won.
Okay, well, so far I think that's what it was. I'm trying. I tried.
No, you knew almost all of them. I don't want to be selfish though and hoard this conversation. I want the audience to have time to ask you something and to engage with you. And I want them to be able to follow you on YouTube and social media, LinkedIn, maybe not LinkedIn, but you know, whatever platforms you have. So go ahead, audience. Now's the time to ask your questions. We can't get in too deep in the weeds, but
sure.
Go ahead. What do you want?
No problem. Sounds good.
And you can also direct your messages to me directly, and I can put them on the screen. Do you plan to make a book from your art, a collection?
Well, we'll see if I make a comic book in the future. There's one particular artist, Ho or Hogs, interpreters, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but there's only one person out there that does have a comic book that's deaf, so maybe I'll lean on them to get a little bit of advice. But
This was funny. We have a question. Did you bring your drawings to Antoine in San Francisco so that he could show your art? And how did you feel of it being shown and displayed?
Well, I felt so inspired. I felt honored that my name was being shown out there. I met some of your friends. What was their name? Kathy, I believe. I met Kathy, Eric or Alec. They were very nice, and to have them look at my work. There was one woman, the picture of the woman on the horse. That was a really impactful one for one of your friends. They really enjoyed that. The dragon also, that was great. That was my very first time showcasing my work. And my older brother, he doesn't show his work very much, typically has some conflicts and whatnot. But I thought, okay, what's going on? Maybe it'll run for a short amount of time or what, but you let it run for about a month, which was really great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, the second week of March, and it'll run through May. So it'll actually be 3 months.
Yeah.
People will have the opportunity to see your work and learn exactly who you are. We have a comment. I like how you express your deaf culture in the artwork, in which I need to see more out there. Does anyone else want to chime in? Anyone from the audience? I'll wait a few more seconds. Wait a minute to get anything coming in. Oh, we have a funny one. If you could have a superpower, what would your superpower be?
Speed.
Speed.
Go fast. Yes, speed. Like Flash. Just
Why? Why would you want that one? Speed.
I could clean up in 1 second. I could do whatever I needed to do, go to where I needed to go really quickly, be in vacation, be in Jamaica, zip my way there, go anywhere in the world. Speed would be it. Yeah.
You'd be burning everything. You'd be going so fast.
No, maybe you. What about you?
Let me see. We got 3 good questions. Oh, here we go from Ava Scott. What do you want or wish to see more from the hearing world to bring deaf artists and their artwork?
Really showcase more. Even on your websites, giving someone a business card with your art, having a picture on there, that's nice. Give that to them so that, give that to folks so websites can really showcase your work. I feel like current websites don't really have a lot of their artwork on there, probably because of copyright issues or things of that nature, the fear of someone stealing your work, but maybe putting it on business cards to share around, having galleries or booths, understanding that people aren't going to steal your work. Maybe have booths or have spaces where your work is showcased in a way where there's actual seating for audience members, because you never know what someone may need. AWART, AWART is one place that kind of showcases some deaf work. And maybe if we just had more opportunities like that, that would be great.
I really enjoyed doing an interview with A-Word. That was such a good discussion that we had. And they said the same thing just about of showcasing deaf artwork. And A-Word also actually did martial arts for many years.
Oh yeah, for over 30 years, yep.
Do you have a black belt?
I have many.
Oh, okay. Talk to me about that, about your different belts.
Yeah, I started at the age of 21. My brother and I would just, go back and forth. We would do Bruce Lee moves. There's also a black man. He had an afro. He did martial arts. He was in Black Man. He's a thin guy, thin actor. He was really fast. He did martial arts, and just looking up to him in films, I was like, oh, I want to be like that. And I was first exposed to that when I lived in Ohio. A lot of Black people lived there, but there weren't any studios around. When I went to Colorado, they were all super far. When I went to California, finally, there was a mix of people. And I think the 1980s, around there, it was a little bit harder to kind of mix in terms of races, but it started to get a bit better. At the age of 21, I finally entered a studio and started working on martial arts. I did Kenpo for the first time, which was more like defense, but I really wanted more. Yeah, I wanted more. I just felt like it wasn't enough. So I transferred over to learn Kudo, which was really, really tough. You would be thrown around, and there are 72 different throws. I knew 42 out of the 72.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so I advanced. I got a ticket from the Olympics. And again, I was not really satisfied with that. I wanted more. So I did, it's called Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga, and it's more of a contact combat. It's a Hebrew word. Very good defense for women and men. If you're pinned down, there's an attack of some sort. If your hair is pulled, they teach you techniques of how to enact self-defense. Very effective. And then I did Kali, which they use a stick of some sort, and that's a style of weaponry based fighting. And naturally now, instead of the stick and pole, they use a knife. And that's just kind of natural for that particular form of fighting. And yeah, they use a knife in that. But I really enjoyed it. I taught it. And then for self-defense, I also taught at an Army base, at a naval base.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of people in the class that I taught. There were 6 instructors, and we all went there. We taught AM-16s, and it was surprising because the Army was not that great in terms of their defense. When I looked at what they were doing, I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, you're big, you're tall, but you look like you should be able to defend yourself. But honestly, it wasn't that great. So us teaching them helped a lot. That stopped in when COVID happened. Unfortunately, we were no longer allowed to go into that area. And then once everything got back to normal, I went back, but they said, you know what, we'd rather shift things online. So I thought, okay, in terms of a studio, things aren't really working out effectively because in opening it, you have to have equipment. Obviously, you're paying rent. There are a lot of things that you have to take care of financially. And I didn't have any individuals under me that could support me in that regard. Weren't a lot of students that I was teaching. There was an individual named David Harrelson who taught online. And I thought, okay, I could probably do self-defense online. So we did Krav Maga and Kali, both, and went from there doing it online.
Can you repeat the name of the first one?
Krava. So it's Krav. Oh, excuse the interpreter. Krav Maga. again, it was based and taught to Hebrew and Israel army. And then Cali is another one. It's more mental development. You use a specific weapon, and it kind of figure out how to defend yourself in 3 particular moves. I really enjoyed that. Just kind of practice if you're bored or something like that. That one was good. I'll actually be teaching a course May 10th if anyone's interested.
Oh, dangerous man. Painter, artist, and also dangerous man.
Yeah. And honestly, on Zoom, excuse the interpreter, what zone you're comfortable in is important to recognize. Once you get out of that comfort zone, there are 3 particular zones that we as individuals rotate through every day.
Oh, time is running out. I hate to kind of cut it short, but I want to make sure that the audience is able to follow you and know where to get more content from you. So, audience, you can follow Antony on Facebook. The link is on the screen, www.facebook.com/GUROANTNOY.Johnson. All right, before we leave, do you have any burning last thoughts that you want to tell the audience? Any last words that you just want them to ponder going forward?
My favorite character, Wesley Snipes, as I mentioned, we're aware of who he is. He was in the movie Blade. Without him, Marvel comic books would not be what they are today. When Captain America, the film in 2003 came out, Blade, I think, came out in 1998. And the fighting in that was just so dynamic. Captain America showcased a war. It's pretty boring. Marvel kind of started to decline after that. People said, you know what, I want fighting like what we saw Wesley Snipes do. And he was used as a model of how Marvel should showcase their future films. So because of him, that's why we see the success of Marvel. But he's not really recognized for that. Wesley Snipes helped the Marvel franchise be what it is. So I remember him, and I remember films, Deadpool, the Wolf film. When Blade came on the scene, you know, it rocked all of us. And so I just really wanted to take a moment to honor him through those various films that he was in, including Deadpool.
Anthony, thank you so much for that. Thank you for being here on Deaf Woke. It's a privilege to learn from you as an artist, as a martial artist. Thank you for being here and for sharing your story.
No, much love, my brother. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Have a good night. Much love to everyone. Take care.
You too. Whew, that was Antony Johnson. I mean, what a great person to follow, to keep that content on your feed. He's an artist, a martial artist. And he also has a podcast show where he interviews other folks as well to uplift the community. Antony's amazing. And his parting words of Wesley Snipes and his roles in Blade and Deadpool and how that quite literally stop the decline of Marvel. It was on the brink of shutting down. They were just about to close. And in comes Blade, something new, something exciting. And that's how we saw Marvel shoot back up into fame. So we have Wesley Snipes to thank for it being the thriving business that it is today. What an amazing franchise. And it's been so amazing to see the guests that we have come on this show. Thank you to Anthony. Thank you for all of you for sharing your stories. All of you, each and every one of you are heroes. We each have gifts that we can contribute to the community. And we have to figure out for ourselves, what's my superpower? And I'm sure most of us have more than one. So thank you for viewing our show tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to 836M, the gallery. Thank you to Borealis. Thank you to the interpreters. Thank you to the Urban Jazz Dance Company staff. To all of you watching, I know they were sweating. Go ahead and dry off. But thank you to all of those who support the show, and especially you who are watching. Just thank you. And how about some likes, some hearts? Where's your reactions in the comments? Let's get some emojis going. Please don't forget to donate to #DeafWoke so we can keep providing content for you. You can donate on our website, www.realurbanjazzdancecompany.com. I so appreciate each and every one of you. You are a hero, all of you in your own way. Don't lower your self-worth. Don't diminish yourself. And where's the music? Come on, let's